वो सारा सबमिशन तो दे रखे थे और उनसे कोऑर्डिनेशन नहीं बैठ पा रहा था। पेपर मेरे पास अभी आए हैं, वो भी 16 तारीख के। हाँ जी बताएं। मंडे वाले दिन को थोड़ा सा अभी कोऑर्डिनेशन बन नहीं पा रहा है।
Good evening, all of you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
So, Aditi, tell me what is the class for today? Do you remember the schedule?
What, sir?
Do you remember the schedule? 19th was one of the class, and then was it 21st?
Yes, so the next class is on 21st.
Okay. Okay, so I will be sharing format of petition referred by Supreme Court, and then in the petition we have covered synopsis. We have covered list of dates and events. These are the part of petition. Now we'll go through the original petition. So the original petition is contain credentials of the petitioner, facts leading to the present petition, and then grounds, and then prayer. So today we'll cover credentials of petitioner and facts leading to the present petition. So whatever you have written in your synopsis, that is known as short summary, and most of the research part is included in facts. Everything, whatever you have gone through, whatever you have learned, whatever the concerned facts are, you include everything. Out of the facts, you prepare synopsis. So what exactly should be there in facts? It depends on what is the actual matter. Which matter are you going to challenge? What points are there to challenge? So on the basis of challenging points, we have to determine the part of research, and then we prepare its proper documentation, where we mostly adhere to the facts. So the fact is written pairwise, 1 2 3 4, like that, even in Roman number. So by pairwise we try to acknowledge, we try to tell the court these are the facts which leads to this petition and challenges those points. And we can get some idea from list of dates too. In list of dates, we had covered from 1950 to till now. So it depends on the matter. It's not about in every petition, in every PIL, we have to go back to 1950 and provide complete details. But it depends on uh, the matter, the kind of matter, the nature of matter. So accordingly, we start covering uh, the dates, years, events. If events or dates before 2000 are irrelevant, then we do not mention those things. In this petition, why we are emphasizing uh, since 1950 to till now is because those facts are relevant. So when we are talking about amendments, so the amendment took place after 1950, and the foundation was created in 1950. So that's why we talk about 1950, how this act was passed, how citizenship term was included. So these are the relevant point. And list of events, if we go to 1950, we find we have talked about Constituent Assembly, where we try to emphasize on those leaders, those who talk about citizenship, and then whatever the decision is there on the basis of that, sex article 5 to 11 is inserted. So these are the relevant point. So that's why we have included those things. Just give me 1 minute. Hello. Yes. Okay. Okay. ठीक है. Leave it then. So it is our duty to go through the research part and have depth of knowledge. Then only we can justify the petition. So whenever we present petition before court, learned judges may ask anything out of those topics. So we must be having sufficient knowledge. Then only we should be able to justify those challenging points. Simply by going through the synopsis, simply by going through the highlights of those topics, we cannot have that depth knowledge. Even we cannot argue on those matters. It is just like we are having research in PhD, and we have to prepare thesis, we have to prepare its complete details, even in hypothetical manner. So everything is included in thesis in PhD program. Accordingly, in petition, if you go through any Supreme Court petition, you find how a lawyer go through the research part, and lots of informations are gathered. Even on the basis of that petition, a separate book can be published. All the aspects are there in the petition related to that topic. So that's how we have to prepare our uh, facts for this CAA. Before that, let me tell you, when we start writing original petition, it starts with the name of Supreme Court, like in the Supreme Court of India, and then we have to ascertain whether matter is criminal or civil. So any of you may raise hand and tell me whether CAA is a criminal matter or a civil matter. Khushi, yes.
It is a civil matter.
Why?
Because there is nothing criminal here, I guess. Maybe.
Any other student? Nishtha.
Because there isn't a crime committed against the society.
So is it civil or criminal?
It's a civil, but
Mm-hmm. Okay, any other? Pranav.
Sir, I guess it's because there is no criminal laws involved in this case.
Hmm. Good. So this is a civil matter. So when we start writing original petition, we start with in the Supreme Court of India, civil original jurisdiction. That is a heading in the center of that of the page, and then below we write writ petition, civil in bracket, then number, and the number is allotted by the registrar through the filing counter. And then below we start with in the name of, in the matter of. So whose matter is that? The person who is challenging the petition, the applicant, is a the petitioner is a first person. So we write the name of that person along with age, further name, resident, and then we on the right side we mention as this is a petitioner, simply petitioner, versus against whom we are challenging. We have to mention that those names. So tell me, who is responsible for the CAA against whom we should file? Any of you?
Government of India.
Government of India. Any other student?
So it would be Union of India.
Tanvi. Why Union of India?
Because it's against the central government.
Yes. Who has raised hand? Any other student?
The central government is responsible for framing and enforcing laws related to citizenship.
Okay, so correct. Government of India, central government through its Union of India. So all the matter related to central government is governed is heard or entertained through Union of India through its secretary. And now we have to mention the name of ministry. So that is Ministry of Home Affairs, and then its address. And since this is a matter of law amendments, so also the another party would be Ministry of Law and Justice through its secretary. So these two are the party. Coming back to these are the respondents, and then we mention in heading writ petition under Article 32 of Constitution of India for violation of preamble article, and whatever the major article you think that those articles are violated, then you can mention those articles like article 13, 14, 19, 21, etc. of Constitution of India. That is a heading. Below that we start with to whom are we going to submit this petition. We also have to mention the name of that, the position of that entity or person. Hold on for 30 seconds. G. Between 7 to 8 p.m. Okay, at 7 I will be leaving. Okay, so I was talking about to whom we have to write this petition. So when we file, we mention mostly those matters which has special need of constitutional bench. So we write mostly PIL to or writ to the Chief Justice of India if we are filing Chief Justice of Supreme Court if we are filing petition at Supreme Court, or if we are filing at High Court, that is Chief Justice of Delhi High Court if we are filing before Delhi High Court. And also we have to mention that and his companion justices and the Honorable Delhi High Court judges. So that's how we denote the position of judges along with Chief Justice. And below we start with most respectfully. So let me demonstrate it through the word file, how we mostly write it. So I'm going to share word file now. Is this visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is how we write, and also you have to go through it. But I will be sharing complete format. Accordingly, you can write, and this is the same format. So that is how we prepare first page, and below that, most respectfully, we mention certain things. Like I told you in synopsis, you have written certain things. Similarly, we have to mention about the petitioner. So we can write about petitioner, that the petitioner is a public interest litigant and is filing this writ petition against the respondent, seeking relief of declaration that the CAA 2019 is ultra vires and unconstitutional, and then Article CAA is a violative of Article 5, Article 6, and we can mention all those articles which are being violated of the Constitution of India. And then you can mention that the petitioner is also challenging the validity of all those points, whatever points you have mentioned in your synopsis. Okay, and then you can mention credentials of the petitioner after this, in a, like whatever I have told you. The Here you can start with the petitioner, and you can write everything as I have mentioned right now. Then you can start another heading, credentials of the petitioners, or you can just simply do not mention anything. Here you have to mention everything. Presently, as per the guidelines, any person who is filing PIL, the person has to disclose everything about about income, address, everything. So when we start writing credentials of the petitioner, we start saying that the petitioner is a public interest litigant, and is a, as you have mentioned in synopsis, the petitioner is a president or member of social welfare organization. And why petitioner is filing? Because petitioner is apprehensive that CA process will exclude millions of poor people from Indian citizenship, particularly post-partition refugees, minorities, and undocumented migrants, rendering them stateless. So that is what you can mention in this credentials of the petitioner. And also you can mention here, mostly we have to emphasize on locus standi, that why petitioner is filing this petition even though some other person could file, or the aggrieved or the victim could file. Why you are there to challenge those points? So for that you need to tell the court that you are the social activist and you mostly talk on these issues, so that is why you thought to come to court to challenge those matters. So in such a manner you have to mention the credentials, you have to mention about yourself, and to convince the judge that you are filing this petition because you are concerned. You are telling them that the petitioner, that the migrants are the victims, or whatever you could mention, you can mention. So only one or two paragraph you can add, half page or one page you can add in credentials of the petitioner, and not more than one page. Clear? The next point we can add facts leading to this petition. Now, here, as much as you can write, as much as content you can add, but do not beat around the bush. Every point or every paragraph should be unique, not repetitive. Also, mention only the quality content, not the irrelevant, not the any trivia, but the actual points, actual facts. So, for that, you can go through the list of events and you can explain everything related to 1950, where you had discussed about Constituent Assembly. So, you can mention about those things. You can mention about the committees formed for these purposes. And for that, you need to learn. You need to go through the constitutional law book. You can learn about it, how many committees were formed at that time, what exactly committee had worked, on which point they had decided certain things, whether those points or those committees were concerned to see citizenship. So accordingly, you can filter, and whatever those points are, you can mention. So you can start writing about 1950 Constituent Assembly. Then you can mention about the committee. Then you can explain about the leaders of that time. And then you can talk about citizenship actually, what exactly citizenship was for that time, and what is the actual cause for declaring that citizenship. So everything you can mention there in that uh, content. And further, you can talk about the citizenship of India, why there was need to prepare such kind of citizenship provision. Everything you can talk about citizenship in India, and then what had happened when the Citizenship Act 1955 was enforced, when 1987 some of the rules were added or some of the rules were amended. What happened before 2004, when there was no illegal migrant was inserted. So these kinds of thing you can mention paragraph wise. And what happened after 2004 when the illegal migrant was added. So you can mention these things. And then you can talk about these uh, notifications as well. The Ministry of Home Affairs uh, issued these notifications, and these notifications are the clarifications. Everything you can talk about citizenship and the facts leading to the present petition. And then you can mention about, if you are writing about CAA, then you can mention about persecution. The government had justified in regard to filtration of the six minorities communities, because and they said that they excluded Muslims, because except Muslims, remaining minorities are persecuted in their own country. So the government had justified persecution word. And then you can mention that some of the people residing in some of the community residing in Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, even in China, even in Myanmar. even in Sri Lanka, even in Nepal, even Muslims, uh, as we know that when the government was asked that why Muslims were excluded, so the government said it is because Muslims has Bangladesh, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and they are in majority, and those minorities are residing there, Christian, Hindu, uh, Parsi, and other religious people are residing there. They are in minority, and they are seeking help they are migrating to India seeking help, and they are declaring themselves as persecuted because they are in minority in their country. So that's why government giving them preference. So to just they have justified by saying that they are being persecuted. So they talked about persecution. You can talk about even in Pakistan, Ahmadiyya Muslims are there. They are in minority. In even in Afghanistan, there is Hazara and Shia Muslims. They are in minority because even the Muslims majority country, Muslims are not treating the minorities belongs to the Muslim community. Ahmadiyyas are not considered as Muslims, even though Ahmadiyya claim themselves as Muslims, but still they are not being considered as Muslims. So the Ahmadiyyas are in minority. So as per the government, people are group of people who are in minority are persecuted. So the Muslims called Ahmadiyya Muslims, they are also being persecuted. Hazara community are there in Afghanistan. So the Hazara community are also in minority and they are also being persecuted. Shia Muslims are there in Afghanistan. They are also being persecuted. And so on. You can talk about why not China. China has multiple minority communities. So why not Myanmar? Myanmar has now Rohingya Muslims in minority. They are being attacked. They are being persecuted. Even in Tibet, even in Sri Lanka. So wherever you find your research, you will find something to challenge against the government, to respond the government. So it is up to you how you challenge it. So that is how you can explain everything in facts. Remember that you are not writing a history book. You are not writing an article on history. But in the facts, you are talking only about the factual things and keeping in mind the fact that government is there to respond you, and you have to challenge any point. You have to explain the facts. It is because you are challenging because the Ahmadiyyas are also in minority in Afghanistan, Pakistan. So government should also invite them. The government should also grant them citizenship. Government should also not call them as illegal migrant if they migrate to India and they call themselves as they are in minority. And since government has said that the minority people are only accepted as legal migrant, so accordingly you can mention all these things just to justify your challenges. So that's how you have to write paragraph wise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraph wise. You can mention the points in the facts, and you have to start with 1950 because list of events and date talk about 1950. However, first of all we have to prepare facts of facts leading to this petition. And then once we get done, then we start preparing list of events and dates. So, but initially we have started with the list of dates and event. It is just to make you understand and assist you that on these points you have to do further research. So now it is up to you how you research it, facts leading to the present petition, and those points should be to challenge the government. Anything you write, that should be the counter. Okay, it should not be just informative, it should be counterable. You are countering the government's points. It shouldn't be like information giving. You are telling that uh, uh, Afghanistan has majority Muslims, even some of the minorities are residing there. That's all. So that is in just an informative. You have to tell in such a way, you have to write in such a way that you are challenging it. You are telling that the Afghanistan, even though Afghanistan is a Muslim majority country, but also some of the Muslims are not considered as Muslims. Those are Hazaras community, those are Shia community, and there is an internal conflict. They are in also minority. They also seek refugees. They also seek asylum. They also migrate to India. They can be also declared as persecuted minority. So why their community was not included in six communities? They should also be considered as legal migrant. So here we have to counter everything. In such a way we have to write since we are challenging government's point. Understood? In this matter, any of you have any question, please raise. Yes, Tanvi.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes.
Sir, when you spoke about the list of dates and events, it's what you gave in the first class, with respect to 1950 and then what happened and then 2004 and everything. So
Mhm.
after facts leading up to the petition, do we have to include that and then eventually submit, or do you just want everything up to facts leading up to the petition?
See, list of events and dates are just simple. We can say outline of the facts. Whatever you mention in your facts, sometimes when you start any draft or petition like that, we can say index of the facts. So list of dates and events will be helpful to track your facts, what actually you have to write in your facts. So one by one you can explain since 1950 to till now whatever things had occurred. You can mention it, and also you can justify by challenging those points. Your facts
Okay,
should be
Professor.
justifiable
Okay.
to challenge their points, challenge their arguments.
Okay, sir.
Even
Thank you.
in list of dates and events, those are more like informative. You are just telling that
Yeah. Yeah.
1950 things has occurred, and then 1987 was there, so and
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
and
sort of included this in the synopsis as well when we were giving the history uh, of like the
see,
CA.
yet I have gone through all of your synopses, and those synopses are just a summary of the whole points. So nothing is relevant in the synopsis to include in your facts, but you have to uh, prepare your own facts by having extensive research.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So as I told you, the paragraph you start writing, you have to write in such a manner that you are countering government points, right? It shouldn't be more like informative, it should be counter arguments.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, Nishtha.
So, around how many pages should we write for the facts?
Very good question. Yet I have asked everyone to write synopsis, and most of them written 5 to 6 pages. Some of them have written 5 pages. But when you are writing a petition, original petition, first and second page would be related to the indexes and whatever I have just marked in mentioned in the Word demo file. Those 2 pages will be covered for those things, and then third pages would be credentials of the petitioner or half pages, and fourth pages should be at least fourth pages that will be related to facts leading to the present petition. Remember that I'm just indicating about the pages. It doesn't mean that you start every heading with the new pages. If you are writing credentials of the petitioner and it is just half a page, then you can start next heading facts leading to the present petition in the same page. So now, in regard to the facts, I guess when you start writing, it should be around 15 pages or 20 pages. Mm, minimum 15 pages should be there. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
So when you complete your facts containing in 15 pages, then next would be grounds. Okay, so grounds would be just going to demonstrate it. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
So this is a grounds. So when you start writing about grounds, as I told you, whatever you write in your facts leading to the present petition, now you have to mention about the grounds. So what actually should be there in grounds? For example, you can write starting with because. So the format would be because, comma, it is incorrect to say that CAA is necessary to give protection to persecuted minorities from these countries, and and you can further mention that these amendments are giving a backdoor entry to all those persons who have illegally entered in India through any from any country through any border. So you can write in such a way that it is relevant that for the purpose of certain laws, definition of uh, religion should be defined, like Hindus, Buddhists, Jains, Sikh, whether they are the separate, whether they belongs to Hindu. So these definitions should also be included, and then you can start with next uh, paragraph, and again you can talk about, you can start with because the CAA exclude non-Muslims migrant from three countries and from the category of illegal migrants and facilitating them citizenship, and that is void on account of violation of Article 14 of Constitution of India. So I guess you can understand what exactly you have to write in grounds. You can start with because it is illegal because certain laws are violated, because government taking uh, favor of these communities, so it is not legal. So you can start with because, and you can write as much as paragraph you can write, and this ground should be at least, the pages would be I guess 10 pages. Within 10 pages you can write about grounds. So note down, 15 pages minimum for facts. Facts would be starting with number 1, and grounds, as I told you, you can start with A, B, C, D, anything. And in case A, B, C, D till Z it completes, then you can start with double A, double B, double C, and you can start with because, and anything you are countering you can mention, add your counter arguments. Every line should be starting with because. Remember one thing, different lawyer has different pattern of writing, different style of writing petition, but even though there's a different style, figure is same. These figures are recommended by the Supreme Court. Okay, the content is different lawyer to lawyer, petition to petition. Some of even like we write because we are challenging, so we start with the because in grounds. We are taking support of these grounds. Different lawyer has different style of writing grounds. So it doesn't mean if I'm saying to write because you have to write because. You, I just want you to counter your argument by using grounds. If judges ask you what actually grounds are there and what grounds are you taking, so as you have told judge about the facts, now you talk about grounds, so you can write grounds accordingly. I will accept the different style of grounds you follow. Fact should be complete, it should be justifiable, it should be uh, like counter arguments, it should be factual, it shouldn't be repetitive, it should be chronological, like the dates of events you have written. Okay, it doesn't mean when you start writing facts you start with 1950, the next paragraph is 2024. No, follow chronological order with the events. So these things should be completed. Any question if you have, please ask. Remember, grounds pages would be 10 pages minimum. Credentials, half page or 1 page, half or one. Clear? And here, most respectfully, I don't know whether you noted down or not something I had told you initially. You have to write. So when you start writing most respectfully, you talk everything related to the petitioner, and whatever you have written in synopsis, you can write it. Most of the aspects would be the same because uh, synopsis was around 5 to 6 pages, but here you can prepare in comprehensive way and write at least 1.5 page. 1 page would be enough. Clear? So here you can write 1 page, and the content would be from synopsis. Yes, is it clear? On 21st, I will be holding class, and I will be checking previous synopsis and also guiding you with the facts, what exactly you can add in facts, what exactly you can add in grounds. So I will be assisting all of you through the class. And on 25th, I may be checking it, all those points you have mentioned or written. So do your extensive research just by listening lecture or copying from different sources. Among you, some of the students exist. They prefer not to bother themselves. They prefer to use Chat GTP. Even some of them have submitted documents completely written in Chat GPT. So that's why I'm asking all of you to go through. It's not about CA or anything. We are not concerned about the topic. We are only about the petition. Through any petition you write, you have to understand what exactly petition asks or included and how PIL is prepared. Remember that it is not compulsory to be a lawyer to file PIL. You can yourself prepare, you can yourself present in person, even as a law student. So that is why that is an opportunity. Those who have succeeded, they do it. Yes, they can also take support of the lawyers. So that's why I have chosen this PIL format. Now, in the group, I will be sharing PIL, I mean original petition format. Even you can follow the same format I have just written in front of you in Word file. So hope everything is clear. On 21st, I will be going through synopsis and assisting you for writing facts and grounds, and you have sufficient time to prepare it and follow as per the schedule is there in the group shared by Aditi. Rest Aditi, mark the attendance, share, also add in your action list, also share in group, and also those who have submitted their articles for publication, and if you have paid for the publication, do notice one thing, whether your status of payment is paid or pay. In case it is pay, and while you have paid, then you share the receipt of the payment through email. Those will be updated. And those who haven't paid yet and they wish to pay, they have last date tomorrow. And those who have already paid, they can focus on this PIL. Okay. So any question? No question.
So this is the whole PIL, right? Like, there's nothing more to add after this.
Sorry.
The petition, it ends with grounds, right? Or is there anything else we need to add after that?
See, in the last class we were talking about prayers. Prayer is still missing. Prayer is the most important aspect of the petition. So write till facts and grounds, then we'll talk about prayers.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, you may leave. Thank you so
Sir,
much. Yes, Radhika.
sir, I resubmitted my article and the status like it's
Sorry.
neither approved nor disapproved. Sir, I
Uh,
resubmitted my article and
okay, okay.
status is neither approved or
It
disapproved.
will be checked today, and you can check status tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, you may leave now. Thank you so much. Any of you have any question, you can be there and ask. Otherwise, leave.